The album that we're talking about is called A Cold Sweat of Quiet Dread, and it will be out on March 12th of 2021. What was the biggest challenge of this collaboration?
Yeah, I would say it's like kind of what I was saying, like getting out of my comfort zone writing and just like kind of like really like listening to everyone else like very like I don't know, intently or yeah, like just like a different kind of writing style, I guess.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's the first time I mean, for a long time that I've played with another guitarist too. So I had a similar sort of shock at first, where it's like, wait, you're gonna play the solo? What the hell? And just with playing and experimenting and jamming, our roles in the band kind of fell more into place, and we started to learn what each other were good at, and how to just like let the other guy ride.
It's true. I think for all the other records we've made, I'm always trying to fill the role as the bass player and sort of second guitarist where needed, and delivering another counterpoint, another melody to a riff, because we only have the one guitarist. So with this time I was able to be a little more of a bass player. So for me it was easier, I think, in a lot of ways. And I had two guitarists, so I could base bass lines off of either one, which was interesting.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. It's very hard writing those charts. Okay, don't mock it.
And to go off what Ben was saying earlier, everything under scrutiny, is a little hard to adjust to being a little more vulnerable when you get attached to an idea that you really like, and maybe someone else has a different idea that flashes or has a different contrast to what you were thinking. So being vulnerable definitely was hard to get used to.
Was this your most difficult record drumming wise, Michael?
Not necessarily, no. It was definitely different trying to tone myself down in a way, though.
Yeah, I think in a sense we all kind of were able to pull back a little bit because we have one extra member, so no one has to push themselves. Yeah, I mean, that way we're not stepping on each other's toes all the time, and I think we're used to like giving it a lot, and we still gave it a lot, but we're able to have be a little more relaxed because there's more stuff going on already.
Yeah, there's less room to work with everyone individually.
So Ben mentioned different guitar tunings that he used. How would you say Ben's guitar style complemented your guitar style?
It's weird.
Oh, yeah. I would say that I'm. I don't know what I am, but Ben definitely has this like great loose, kind of like really emotive style. He ended up doing most of the leads on the record, and a lot of just like the melody making, and the melodies I did bring in are very different than what I would have put together. Yeah, so it's great. I mean, we have completely different. Oh, and ambience, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah,
that was huge.
Sean's the riff man, and I feel like Ben brought a lot of ambience and melody and just more freeform space to it, and so it's not all just riff based all the time.
Yeah.
Now, would you say the ambience is the biggest difference between this collaboration and previous Myopic releases?
There's so much different. I mean, we change our style up, every record, sometimes between songs, sometimes within songs. But this record, you'll find a lot more layering and sort of like careful pacing of songs. Definitely, yeah, a lot of that comes from having Ben do, some really kind of noise and ambient driven guitar work. But all in all, it really has, a different tone than any of the other records, I think.
I'm definitely my best feedback performance so far.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
some of it's just because we're always growing as songwriters, but I think the songwriting on this is more, more developed and mature than anything we've done previously.
Agreed.
Not that anything in the past was bad, but we're always growing, and I think that these songs, make a lot of sense, and they don't jump around too much. There's lots of different moods in the album, but the songs are a bit more self-contained in what they deliver a little bit. Yeah, and there's a lot of good emotion in there that it's sometimes hard to get in a metal record.
So, in addition to a second guitarist, you guys also had another vocalist to work with. How did you end up dividing the vocal lines?
We wrote the vocals. We tend to write vocals last, and we did with this one too. So we did those. We got all the instrumental songs finished and demoed right about before this whole COVID lockdown started, and then started vocal drafts. And we just sent stuff back and forth online for a while with, and people wrote, everyone, even Michael wrote some of the lyrics. And so we all just sort of collaborated online with how we were writing stuff. And it wasn't too organized in terms of who took what. Some songs are more, driven by one person or another because they wrote it. So
Yeah, I mean, I got like a few different style of vocals that I can do, so it's kind of like, I don't know, trying to figure out where that can fit in to each part.
yeah, I think this time maybe this is the first time where I've done only clean singing, and Sean is doing his
That's
growl.
not true.
And then,
You did
the last,
some screams in one or two of the songs.
okay, maybe a little bit. That's probably true. I probably have a moment or two, but by and large, everything is like melodic focused. But Ben did, brought some clean singing as well as, mostly harsh vocals. But I feel like Ben's got the shouts and the anguished screams in this one, and
Yeah.
Sean does a little more, I guess, mid-range type growls and screams. So it made sense. Everyone's kind of got their own unique vocal style at this point, and I feel like we're all confident enough in what we're good at that it just made sense. We know kind of who to use where for what part. So we have a lot of flexibility there, which is good.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, in terms of the lyrics, were the lyrics also a collaborative process?
Yeah, I mean,
pretty-
like I would say like a one person wrote like the song, like any given
Yeah.
song, but like I think it's pretty even split between all four of us, like generally speaking, on the record.
Everyone wrote some lyrics on this one. Yeah, so it was collaborative, and I think pretty much everyone contributed somewhat to the editing of all the songs. So some people wrote most of the lyrics for a song, but kind of everything was edited together and until we were all happy with everything.
Yeah.